Good morning. Today we're going to do some wall pilates based exercise. It's suited for all level and we're using the wall as a point of resistance, and we're including as part of all your principles pilates skills some other fact that you can gain from using the wall. So let's start. So I'm lying down on my back and I'm trying to keep the position of my feet against the wall as I relate it to my pelvis placement. So I'm going to start to find my place of my pelvis that will lie comfortably along the floor. So I'm going to use my feet to push against the wall, to engage the abdominal muscle to help them to lift up, pulled in and lift up, and then I release. And again, as I push my feet against the wall, my pelvis gets into position where it starts to align itself, flattening along the floor, so my back gets to lengthen, and then release. And again, as you exhale, your shoulder blades pull down, and then release. So you get a little bit of a small rocking feeling with your pelvis being rolled up and down, as you can see through the camera. Exhaling, inhale, and exhale. One, I'm starting to feel more connected from the front, less pushed down, but more elongating through the feet, resisting against the floor. I'm trying now to start to straighten the leg, lengthen them along the floor, keep my pelvis position, and then bend. So it's like walking up, step down. I keep my breathing, release, flow, my pelvis is stable. As my leg move one more time, step up, and then finish with your feet, knees bent. And then another exercise to practice the pelvis placement, the stability along the pelvis. As we're using the core muscle, we're going to lift one leg up, place it back down, push against the floor, the wall, and then place it down. As you exhale, disconnect your foot and lift up so you can feel like your hip folding, and then put it down. And then you can get into a rhythm. My back is elongating, my shoulder blades pull down my back. 2, 3, so this is a good beginning start to engage more from the front, to elongate through the back. Let's start with our first exercise, the 100. So we're going to straighten the leg along the wall. We zip up, we lift the head off the mat, we squeeze the leg together, and we start to bounce your arms up and down. Inhale, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale deeply into the bottom of the ribs. Exhale, nicely flow, and inhale. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 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 Last one. Inhale. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold the back of your leg and then roll back down to the mat. We're going to start to lift the pelvis off the mat, and this is a really good exercise to do with the wall. So back to your legs alignment, your knees in tabletop position, and then we're going to push against the floor against the wall with the feet, and then feel your back lengthening, and start to lift your pelvis up, vertebra by vertebra, pushing from the back of the leg. Hold it there for a second. Feel how everything engages at the back of the pelvis. You have a wrapping feeling against the back of your leg, your hamstring pulling. The stomach is nicely scooped inwardly. There is not much tension going on. It's all about keeping the pelvis up in the air. And then roll down your back. Inhale, engage your feet. Up and roll. One more time. As you engage your feet, you also feel like your feet is pulling down the wall as well. And that will give a good connection into the calf muscle, your hamstring, the pelvis. So you get a good connection through the back, not really using the thigh. And then roll down. One more time. I can go as high as I can, as long as I'm not using my ribs to push up. And then we're using one more time. Exhale. And rolling down. As you can see, my leg is a little bit more together, less apart. It's helped me to think about my drawing into my central line, keeping the pubic bone lifted, lifting as high as you can, squeezing between the leg, in, then release down as your shoulder blades stay downwards your back, and then every moment. Have your legs stretched in. So we're going to expand on this exercise and we'll go a little bit higher up, but this time we're going to use your leg straight. You might want to move a little bit closer. You have to experience with this, because when I lift myself up, I have to feel like I'm using my pelvis to come up, and my feet maybe will glide up, but they also push against the floor. And then as I roll down with my pelvis, maybe the legs will start to roll down with you. And again, as you exhale, it's a little bit harder. I'm pushing from the back of my leg into the heel. They push the wall and they climb up a little bit. And then roll down. Exhale. And this is where I stay. I keep a good contact through the back of myself and take one leg up, lower back to the wall, and swap. Shoulder blades press down towards the mat. I'm using everything I can, the wrapping, the lift, the shoulder blades. And all this exercise that including lifting the leg over the head is starting from the understanding of how to lift your pelvis off the mat. And then roll down. So again, before you go into a straight leg, maybe you should experience a little bit of that. You can do exactly the same, keeping your leg a bit more bendy, so it doesn't put too much strain on the exercise. And then you can experience with your legs straight, pushing it up, lifting one leg, which is very bit more intense. I'm using a lot of work. And then I'm rolling down my back. Let's go for the leg circle. Keep your pelvis nicely heavy down. You should by now understand your pelvis placement, so you're not arching your back, but you don't also pushing the back into the floor. You're using your feet to pull in towards your center. Get the pelvis just in line with the sacrum. to get a nice elongation through your lower back. And then take the right leg up. And I'm keeping it as close as I can towards my face, but I'm using my stomach to pull. And I just want a very small control exercise circles at the moment. Sometimes I make the circle more free, where we're lifting the hip and we're using the whole hip. This time, I just want you to feel the contrast, what the other leg's doing towards the wall. And then really small one towards the face and around, in and around, and then reverse. Very small controlled circles. In, 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 in. Put it down next to the other, find your center again. Raise your other leg towards your center. You could keep your knee slightly bent, that's okay. Make sure the work is come from the whole hip. Circle, circle. This hip needs to feel free to move. One. Sometimes we need to do a little bit of a turn out to get a better space in the joint. 3, 2, reverse, around, 2. I'm pressing strongly into the other leg, into the wall. Get a sense of reaching. And then release. Bring the knees to your chest. Have a little hug. And we're going now to roll on your side. And we're going to do the roll up. And we're going to use the wall for that. It will be a bit intense, you know, sometimes the wall does give you a bit of a feeling of, I can't move, I need some space, but see how you go. Now, you don't have to always keep your legs straight. Again, you need to feel the engagement through the back leg. So maybe as you roll down, you need to feel the feet pushing the wall, especially through your heel. So it's giving you that beginning action where you're starting to feel your pelvis rolling backwards. So let's start. As you exhale, and then as you go closer towards the mat, keep your leg reaching, squeeze your inner thighs, squeeze the bottom, and then straight, all the way down. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, curl up, look directly to your toes, and reach like you want to touch the wall. Your feet will touch the wall, and your tail will stay under. Your pelvis will curl back, and your arms will feel like they want to touch the wall, but maybe not. So you are over a big ball. And then you're going to start again. So let's start one more time. Have your legs slightly bent so you feel the push. And then that will help your pelvis to roll. Keep the legs together, squeeze them. And then feel the thigh pushing down. The pelvis start to squeeze. My leg attached to the wall this time because I went a bit more closer. And then I keep all the time the reaching the feet to the wall. And then feel like you're going to roll over a big beach ball. And then as you come, start to feel like you're lifting upwards. And then you're going over a big beach ball. So your back gets to lengthen. I'm not really interested of stretching the back of my leg. That's not my job. My job is to get a nice lift through my back, my hand hovering over, and then I'm sitting up and tall. Again, this is a lot of refining here with your roll up. So one more time, push your feet, start to roll down, feel how your hip muscles start to open up, your thighs getting lengthened, and then more sit bones, more lower back to the floor. Stretch your arms over, inhale, and again, Start to lift yourself from behind. Keep the stomach pulling in and up. And get a sense of hovering. I'm not pushing myself and hinging. Very important here. I lost it now, so I'm squeezing, lift, get a nice C shape, and then sit up tall. Okay, for the last time, and exhale. So lots of precision here. Pull the stomach in towards your back. Reach forward but feel like you can't. So create your own oppositional work. You are reaching forward but at the same time you're pulling back. So you get a nice sense of feeling of a lift. And then shoulder blades lengthening. And then sit up tall. Okay, after that we're going rolling like a ball. I change a little bit of the order because of the wall. So we're getting the feet towards your seat and then we roll back and forward. And remember the practice we did with the pelvis up when your leg was on the wall? I'm getting here the same position. I'm lifting the pelvis and then I'm coming up to balance. I'm lifting the pelvis and then balance, lifting. My leg is not moving, my head is not moving. I'm just like from back to front. And that's rolling like a ball, giving you the sensation of elongating through the back and up and then stay balanced. We go now into your abdominal series. So we're going to use the wall. So let's roll down. Get your legs in a tabletop position. Find your pelvis placement. And then we're going to lift the head off the mat without bulging the stomach, keeping it nice and flat, pulled in and up. Reach your arm to the wall and then take one leg towards your chest. The other leg is pushing into the wall. And other leg is pushing, and other leg is pulling. You can do the same idea with the leg straight. 2, I prefer the feet connection, so you can sense the resistance. So one leg is pushing, one leg is pulling. One more time. And bring it down. Double leg stretch, straight the leg, lift your head off the floor, and we're just going to focus on the arms. So the leg will stay straight, and they will push against the wall, pressing down into the wall. Inhale, circle the arms, and hold yourself up. And again, inhale, my head is not moving, circle the arms, and hold yourself up. One more time. Inhale, circle the arm, and hold yourself up. And then come back to the floor. Double leg straight stretch. We're going to lift the head off the floor, taking the arms behind your neck, keeping the lift through the back of my neck, back of my shoulder, and I'm going to squeeze the leg, move them towards the face and then to the wall. Towards the face and to the wall. The other option is if your knees bend, you disconnect the feet and you place them back in. You disconnect, or the hardest way, and when you lift your leg, use the front of the pelvis. Two more. And last one. Put the head down, and every moment. The next one is single leg straight stretch. We're going to keep the leg straight, lift the head off the floor. As we're zipping, bring from the front of the pelvis one leg, hold it like you're going to climb up a tree. But this leg will keep pushing towards the direction of the wall. And then swap, 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 swap. And when I bring the leg towards my face, I'm using my abdominals to pull the leg in, creating a sense of elongation through the back of the leg. Pubic bone is slightly lifted. My pelvis is balanced on the sacrum, not on the tailbone. My waist is elongating. So that's the time to refine. Otherwise, you can do it like that. Straight leg, 2, 3, and rest. Oh, I hope you felt that. Okay, so we're going now to roll up and do the spine stretch. Push yourself back, straight the leg against the wall, feel how you're pushing into the wall. Take your arms over the head, wrap around your pelvis, and then lift up from the front of the pelvis. Pull the stomach in. Now I'm pulling my stomach back, and my stomach reaching to the back end of the room. And my pelvis is slightly curled, so I create a nice lift through my waist. And I'm hovering over the leg. And that is a great stretch that I'm doing for myself. It's a positional work. My leg reaching forward, my hands reaching forward, but the rest of my body is pulling back. So you have back and forward at the same time. And then sit up tall. So that's the same idea that we're going to do with the wall. So the spine stretch forward on the wall is quite nice to get the feedback, because I always use the imagination of lengthening into a wall. So we sit down with your feet flexed, they are pushed forward into imaginary wall, and then I zip and lift. Now if you can't sit up, you can bend your leg a little bit. So, but the feeling is that you are able to sit on the back of your seat, lifting up, take the arms forward, and then as you're going forward, you push into the wall. You push into the wall. You push into the wall. You push into the wall, and then you lift up as you elongate against the wall. So I'm peeling vertebra by vertebra, segment by segment of the wall, but trying to keep this pushed back into the wall. It will be as strong as you will be to be able to retract yourself back. Exhale and exhale. I'm using my exhalation here a lot. Now, if you can push the leg forward at the end. And then you're sitting up tall. So if you are a bit tight on your leg, you can always start with your leg bent. You push into the wall, and then at the same time, pushing the heels away. And then come up. So as I said, it's not about stretching the back of the leg. You will feel that if you are tight in your hamstring, they will feel like you want to lengthen them, but it won't feel like intense stretch. The other option is doing with your arms on the floor. You push the floor, you push into the back of the wall. So I'm pulling back, and then I'm reaching my leg forward, and then come up. Okay, that was the spine stretch. And now we're going to open leg rocker. We're going to use the wall, and so the exercise will change a little bit. So let's roll down. Again, I need to find nice space between me and the wall. So this time I'm getting my leg together, so I've got the zip up, the center, and then I spread the leg wide as my shoulder. Not wider than my shoulders because, you know, we're not going to stretch here. You could do it if you want. But for this exercise, we have to feel the territories of our body, of our frame. So the leg in line with the shoulders, because there will be a point when I want to catch them. So they need to be ready to be in line with my arms. So my arms reaching into my leg, and then I go back. All right, so we've got our little V shape. Again, I'm pushing with my feet into the stomach, so it's helped me to lift up and then elongate the pelvis, the lower back. So when I'm ready, I'm going to lift up, feel the engagement of the abdominals, and then reach my arm forward to catch the leg. So as I catch my leg, I want the leg to push me to the wall. So my leg is going towards the wall. They're pulling me, pulling. Now if you can, try to see if they can actually reach to the wall. So I'll do a little touch. And then have a moment. Bring yourself back down. So it's very hard to give lots of details into this exercise, and maybe look at the broad picture and do like a little game. Can I touch my feet into the wall and then move them off the wall? But what you have to do with your body, it's the same thing again. It's create length. Even now that you're doing it, push into the wall and feel how your lower back elongated. That will peel the pelvis slightly up. So your point will be more under the sacrum. So when I lift myself up, I use my lower abdominals, and then I don't change my position. I bring my leg to me, catch it with my hands, whatever I feel. For people who are more flexible, get as high as you can. If you're not, just hold here. But don't lose the length in the leg. And then start to rock. And my idea is that it's the leg pulling me, and then I lean back. And this is quite hard. As much as you go higher, you want to start to do this or push with my ribs. Don't let it up and sink backwards. Feel the leg touching the wall and let the pelvis curl. And then lean. And then I'm coming up, touch the floor. My pelvis is curled back. I'm pulling my stomach more and more back. And so it's a lot of internal work that I'm doing. I'm not using the leg to push me. I'm always using the leg to pull. Last one. And hold it here. And then hold, roll down, and bring your leg bend. Okay, so now we're going to do side to side or U shape. So we're going to straighten the leg, push them into the wall so you can start to align the back with the mat. As you exhale, disconnect your leg from the wall and bring them towards you. Go to the right, and then go towards the wall, into the left side, and again go towards the wall, into the right side. The more you bring your legs towards the shoulder, the more you're using your stomach to lift. There will be a point, if you are strong enough, that the pelvis wants to come up. And I use my arms to push. And then I roll down, swing around. I'm using my arm to push. So if you're not very strong to lift your pelvis, And it's not my favorite as well. You can just go very nice and moderate, keeping the connection into the front of the pelvis and using that angle where you're thinking towards your shoulder, from the center towards your shoulders. Go with your leg back to the center and have a moment. So we can also do something with the legs over the head later on, where we will put the head there and then the leg can reach to the wall. So it gives you a bit of idea what you are doing with the leg. At the moment, let's move on to the next one, which is the saw. So we're going to push back, get the heels against the wall, so I get a nice feeling of push. Wrap the pelvis, take the arms over the head, and as I exhale, pull my stomach back, start to lift up from my waist. I'm lifting up from here, and I create nice shape, internal resistance, my leg reaching forward, and then I sit up tall. So let's go with the leg apart. You can widen more than your shoulders, that's okay, but don't lose the feeling that you're completely collapsing. So you're reaching into the floor, into the wall, and it's helping you to push and lift. So I'm pushing into the wall and I lift. So what I do, I pull my stomach back into the lower back here to elongate, lift my arms, turn, and then without losing the legs, they still reaching to the wall. I turn and so it's very important that in this all this seated flexion exercise you will think more of elongation rather than collapsing. So the hips is slightly roll back as I reach, because the leg giving me the connection into my lower back. So I push into my stomach, into my lower back, turn, reach. So you need to be familiar with this work, and this is the regular exercise that we do in our regular Pilates exercise, but we're using the wall to refine our skill, get a bit more precise, get a little bit more of feedback to what we're doing, and then release. Okay, so we're going to lie down on your front now for single leg kick. So in your workout, you can also pick up some exercise that you need to get better and just explore it to yourself. And this is one of a lot of exploration that I did for myself. I need to be able to reach the wall with my hands. So I get a little bit closer and find my arms touching the wall. And I feel like I push the wall away from me so I can keep my shoulder blades down. You can find your own width of your arms. They can be closer to your head, or they can be a bit further. Or you can get a little bit closer so you can feel the connection into the shoulder blades. My legs start to elongate back, and just to get a little bit of sense of what I'm doing, I push the wall. I kind of wrapping around my pelvis. So instead of being like that with my feet, I roll them in and I get the nice feeling of wrapping. Let's do it again. And as you exhale, wrap around the pelvis. And the next time, just do it a little bit by pulling the stomach in and up as well. Don't tight the stomach, but feel like the belly button is sucking inwards and upwards. And one more time. And roll the heels in. And then get a sense of connection into the back of the leg. One more time as you bend, 2, 3. Now you can do this exercise by keeping the head off the mat and keep pushing into the wall so you can get a sense of centering, so the pelvis will be directly under your pubic bone. My pubic bone is reaching to the floor. There is a thin gap between the belly button and the wall and the floor, very thin gap. And I'm trying to pull myself away from the floor, but my arm keep reaching towards the wall. It gets better and better as you do it more and more. Kick, kick, lower, kick, kick, lower, kick, kick. I can lift my head as far as I can in between my arms to lift the chest bone away from the floor. Kick, kick. Last time. Kick, kick. And then put the head down. Nice. Take your arms around. Interlock them over each other. Relax your elbow. Bend both legs. Kick, kick. And as you come up, lift the breastbone. Stretch the arms towards the feet. And then change your left cheek to the floor, kick, kick, and then reach, shoulder blades together, and right cheek, kick, kick, and reach, left cheek, kick, kick, and reach, right cheek, kick, kick, and reach. Have a little rest, come up and stretch back. Neck pull. Lie down on your back and then again find the wall. Let it help you to curl the pelvis down the mat. Push the feet into the wall. And get a good contrast. So even if my leg is not straight, it doesn't matter. I want to feel my hip open so I can start to engage with the seat. So my seat together, my pelvis is wrapping. Take the arms behind your head and let the shoulder blades pull down to connect with your upper stomach. And we're going to come up. As you exhale, go down. Inhale, lift nice and tall. Your knees might bend now. And then go back and then use your feet. I have to get a bit closer. I lost it. Use the feet. So for all my advanced students, this is a really fine little. If you think you are good in the neck pull, do this. You will find a lot of details. So let's do it again. I push into the wall. Get my pelvis into the right position, so my back lengthening, shoulder blades down. And then remember, it all has to come from the stomach. Pull the stomach in. Go down. Lift up. So because I'm keeping my contact with the wall, I'm still with my knee bend. And then lean back, so when I go back, I can use the wall. Let's do it again. And exhale. Then the knee can bend, my stomach pull back, my pelvis curl. Inhale up. And release. Let's go pelvis off the floor. So I'm going to turn. And I'm going to use my arms to push the wall. And again, when I push the wall, it's really helping me to get the back flattened, the shoulder blades flattened. And then as I exhale, I draw into my center. And then I take my leg up, second leg, And then we do a little bit more of connection into the lower abdominals. So we're going to straight the leg forward and bend. Straight the leg forward and bend. You will feel as you exhale that your shoulder blades hugging you around. You keep the contact with the floor, with the wall. And then when you're ready, get the leg up, touch the wall, roll the pelvis back. And again, touch the wall, roll the pelvis back down. The leg will reach up. And again, touch the wall and release. So just to summarize it again, we're keeping the connection of the leg into the lower abdominals. That takes time and strength because all the other exercises helping you to strengthen in this area. And now you're practicing of lifting the pelvis off the mat in order to elongate the back. So we use this arm to give us contrast. We push or we drag the arm down towards the floor. Anything that you can feel like it gives you more connection into the back of your shoulder blades, into the front of your wrists. Then you lift one leg up, second leg up, and you do 5 push with your leg. But don't lose your lower abdominals. And this is my level. Other people can feel that they maybe go a bit more lower. I can't because my back is going off the mat. So everyone have a different shape. It's not that I'm trying not to let you go down to the floor, but for me, my back needs to be aligned. So I have to keep my leg in this position. It doesn't matter how strong I am. It's very, very difficult for me in this position to go here. You can see that my leg pulling me and my back is coming up. So I have to be true to my frame. So I'm going up, and then I'm making sure that I work from the front of the pelvis, keeping the contact with the wall. So I'm giving you time to focus and concentrate, repeat. And then when you're ready, you touch, you roll the pelvis. You roll the pelvis up, you roll the pelvis down. Then I'm going to keep you there. And I'm trying to reach into the wall. Take my arms behind my pelvis and hold it up. So I'm helping the pelvis to reach to the wall. And get good contact with the feet into the back of my lower back. Take my arms down and roll. Coming up, touch. Now my arms is pushing down and roll. Now my arms is pushing down and roll. Last one. My arms is pushing down and rest. Okay. So, shoulder bridge. We use the feet as contact. We lift the hip up. We're keeping the lift from here, and we're going to take the leg forward to the wall, to the floor, to the wall, to the floor. Drag the leg in, swap, wall, lower, wall, and then down, drag it in, and roll down. Okay, we're going now to stretch the leg. We're going to roll up without the wall, reaching your arms to the wall and let your arm push the wall so you get the connection into the front of your stomach. From there, curl up. Squeeze the leg, pull your stomach back, reach forward and sit up tall. Twist. Open your arms apart, turn to the right, center, turn to the left. Try to feel like you're sitting above the water level. So your head stays above the water. You're looking across the room and you're trying to feel like you want to reach to the back arm. And then from here, release. Jackknife, a little bit similar to what we did before. We're rolling down. We drag the knees in towards the chest. I'd like you to practice again, the arms against the wall. Lift the leg to the wall. And then lift the wall. Lift and down. Lift and down. Lift and down. Lift and down. Roll down your back. Place your arms by your side. Now lower the leg as far as you can. And then pull them in and reach up. And down. And reach up. And down. And reach up. And down. Reach up. And down. Another way of doing it, to feel really what the work is there for you, is what we did at the beginning of the session, is to get the leg maybe a bit closer this time, and then really push up. That's what you're doing in the jackknife. You're lifting from the back of the leg. So when my leg is up, I have to use the back of the leg. So the back of the leg is pushing into the wall, the pubic bone is up, and the leg is almost reaching up. So that's a nice way to practice jackknife, and then maybe try to do it yourself. Another thing that you need to practice when you go up the wall is to lower down the back into the mat. Up and lower. All right. Okay. Let's go now into the sideline. So sideline is interesting because I always use the imagination of reaching the leg. So I need to push the bottom leg and go down on my side and let the leg up to float. And I'm keeping both legs in contact with the wall. And then I just lengthen over my head, shoulder blades down, and lift. As I exhale, you can start to see that there is a thin gap between my waist, my bottom leg pressed downwards into the mat. And let's use your arms as a point of oppositional work. So you reach one way with the arms, the other way with the leg, and you let the heel reach towards the wall. And then you let the ball of your feet touch the floor, the wall. As your arms reaching, let the heel reach away to the wall, kind of like flexing, and then point ball of the feet. One more time. So it's slightly different than what we do in our ordinary exercise. We're just practicing now the wall. Place your arms on the floor, lift your head nice and tall. And then back, and lift your head nice and tall. And then back, and lift, and then back. Last one, lift, and this time take the leg slightly to the back and slightly to the front. To the back, to the front, to the back, to the front. Back to the floor and do small circle. I'm always reaching to the wall. The bottom leg touching the wall all the time and pressing down to the floor. Reverse, up, 2, 3, and release. Very nice. Bend your knees. And we're going to keep the legs. Now you have an option. You can keep the knees, feet above each other, which is harder because it makes you feel like you're losing your balance. Or you can spread them a little bit apart so you can easily balance on your side. And then I'm trying to align my shoulder with my hip. So I'm getting a nice lift through my waist. It's not that my arms is pushing up, it's I'm trying to get the arms connect to my waistline, shoulder blades down and reach up. And then I just lightly bend towards that wall. And then from here, I take my arms around and I look down to get my ribs around. And then we're going to swap sides. So I will be with my back to you because we're going to use the wall. So my bottom foot pushing against the wall. And I'm lengthening my spine, my side along the mat, letting the leg hang. And then we're going to take this arm and we're going to lengthen. Again, it's the connection of the arms into the waistline here. Exhale, shoulder blades down. Inhale, arms down. Exhale, my bottom leg is always using the wall to push. And then we're going to play a little bit with the feet. As my arms goes over, I'm flexing my heel towards the wall. And then as my arm goes back, I touch with my ball of the feet. And again, the bottom leg, don't let it bend. Keep it reaching down towards the floor. You get better and better with repetition. So you need to think about your stomach is lengthening, but it's pulling in and up. My bottom is wrapped. Ball of the feet, last one. Legs, shoulder blades down. And then place the arms on the floor. Lift your head nice and tall. And down. So I'm looking into lengthening the waistline. Keep the waistline down and up, both. Nice and long as I lift my head. Sometimes it's nice for me to think about my heel reaching to the wall, so it's make me less want to hinge my hip, more to pull it away. As I exhale, last one. And then I stay up and take the leg back and fold. And then put the head down and do small circle. 2, reverse, back, 2, 3, 4, and put the leg down, come up, bend the knees, take one arm up. So think about the alignment, shoulders in line with the hip, nice long line upwards, and then side bend. And then from here, turn around. And then release. Okay, we're going into our teaser. So like I always promise you, you can do teaser with the wall, which is a nightmare because you feel like you want to leave the legs from the wall. So let's see how we do. Let's start with easy 11 with your legs bent. So get your pelvis in line. And then I'm feeling the pressure onto the feet. I'm a bit more warmed up now. I know where my place, I know my stomach is working. And then I go up and lower. And then I go up and lower. So if you feel like you don't have enough space to go up, maybe push yourself a little bit with the feet. Feel the spine long, and then reach up. You can use your arms and then roll back. And again, reach up. So I'm trying not to let my leg leave. Now you can see that I'm really struggling to come up a lot. Maybe I can go a little bit pushing, finding the contrast, and then maybe it will get better. Now. So it's about the exploration. Where is the point where you can keep the feet contrasting to the wall? Let's see if I go a little bit more lower, if it will be better, because I need that contrast to come up. If my leg will feel like floating, I will find it hard to come up. So maybe get the place where you can push the wall, zip up and lift, and then squeeze the legs, squeeze the bottom. Don't leave the wall, and you come to the wall. I'm going quite high here because I can. And like I said to you, maybe if you go a bit lower, you will feel like you're going better. I think, yeah. The higher the leg is very harder to come up. So just for the example, if I go with my leg a little bit high up, I think I will struggle. I'm stuck. My leg wants to come to me. So I'm stuck because I don't have contrast and I can't get up. So it's really about exploration. Where is your place? Everyone is different. My back is quite curved and I need a lot of feedback to my back to help it lengthening into the floor so I can engage really the whole area of my stomach, not in a way that it restricts me, in a way that it's giving me a nice feeling of scooping and lifting, so there is a space here to work with and more lengthen through the back. Reach. And then I'm trying to stay here and then circle the arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I'm reaching down. Keep the leg to the floor, to the wall, and stay down. Teaser 2 is working with the leg. As you exhale, come up, and then bring the leg off, touch the wall. Bring the leg off, touch the wall. Bring the leg off, touch the wall, and then roll down. Don't leave the wall. Now I'm going with the legs and the arms together to come to the teaser position. After I felt the wall, now I'm going to leave the wall so the hands and the arms come together. It's all work from the stomach. Take your arms over the head, feel the contrast with the wall, and when you're ready, up, lower, up, lower, up, reach your waist down, up, lower. Sorry, I did something else. So now it's the legs and the arms. Exhale up. Lift up your waist and then roll down. Exhale up. Lift up the waist. And hold down. Okay, you could do it from the floor as well. But I think when your leg is slightly high up, you can have more contrast. You can have more feedback into your pelvis placement. Now you can see that there is a large gap under my lower back, but it's okay for me because I've learned how to work with it. But when you are keeping your leg on the wall in a more of this angle, you are able to get more contact into your front of your body. So even now that I have a little bit of a gap, that's normal. My back of my ribs in the floor, I'm going from, and then I come up. And then lower down. And up. Because I already find my work through the stomach, I recognize it and I can work from below. But when you work with the wall, it's giving you a good chance to recognize how to work with here. And release. Okay. Nice, let's finish with the plank. So turn around, place your, first of all, you know the idea that you're not sinking between your shoulder blades, you want to pull the shoulder apart, lift yourself up, and then we need to find the wall. So we go a little bit straight, a little bit forward, and feel how your feet touching the wall. Have a little bit of a bounce, and then swap. Change. You want to bounce from the heel. So you want to find the contact with the heel, pushing you back and forward. One more time. So that's for you to get that nice feedback from the feet. So now we reach back, straighten the leg. We reach back, straighten the leg. There will be a point that I will tell you to lift both legs. So you need to be able to get a good grip with the wall. Maybe get closer. Rehearsal it now. So you want to have a good contact. And then down. Change. And then down. The other leg lift a little bit. Down. The arms doing a lot of work. Down. And rest. Now we could practice on the arms shoulder stability by doing this. So the same as we did with the leg. Reach to the wall, shoulder blades feel flat, and then you leave your arms and then down. Again, shoulder blades flat, leave the arm, and then down. Again. So that's for balance. So you feel the whole connection, shoulder blades down your back, you push the floor, the wall, and then you can also play with this. Feel how the bottom arm giving you contrast to do the push-up work. So you're pushing from the shoulder blades, pulling the shoulder blades to your inner spine, to your spine, and then pull it away from the spine. The shoulders always away from the ears, and then hold it. Maybe take the other leg. Or maybe the other leg, just play with it. And then change side. Take the other arm, shoulder blades pulling, and then play with the standing arm, retracting the shoulders and protracting the shoulder blades. And then hold it. Do a lot of adjustment here. Think about the shoulder blades pulling down your back, The standing arm is feeling that it's pushing the floor, and then maybe play with the leg and swap. So we're going to focus on the opposite leg. You can see me that I'm working through it. And then release. So now shoulder blades down, have a little stretch. Kneel towards the wall, take the arm, shoulder blades down, and then push back, and inhale, lift, bend, just very lightly. Push, and bend, and push. So my arms always pushing the floor, at the wall. And we can do a little bit of the push-ups, elbows bending towards the wall. Or we can go a bit higher, that's easier. Lower in line with your chest harder. And if you want, you can go on the floor. Or you can bounce. Just to feel how the arms pushing. And then rest. Okay, that's a nice one to do now for my advanced student who wants to do a little bit more exploration up the wall. So let's get the elbow down and then push the wall with the feet and allow to one leg reach up, touch the wall and stay. My head is floating inwards, my shoulder blades pulling, my leg reaching up, and then swap. Maybe you can take both legs and lift one leg up. I'm not doing the full handstand, don't want to fall on my head. I still have a lot of fear on this position. I'm not very secure, but if you want to go ahead. I'm not doing it. And then once you finish, put one leg down. Whew. Go and sit. And just relax. Okay, let's do some standing exercise, which will be interesting for you to explore around sideline. So let's stand close to the wall, so the hip, shoulders nicely lifted. And then I'm going to push the ribs into the wall and then get a nice lift through my waist. And then release, and then we're going to change side. My hip is reaching, shoulder blades. You can get the feet as far as you need, but get the hip in touch, ribs in touch with the wall. Feel a nice lift, and then push the ribs into the mat, into the wall. Look down. So So my whole body pushed into the wall. And then release. Take the elbow in line with the shoulder and then just lean. Keep the shoulder blades down. Take the arms over and push the ribs away from the wall. Or you don't have to touch the wall. And then again, and push. And then if you want to be a little bit more explorative, take the leg in, so with the other leg we'll do it. No, do this leg. And then release, change. So you need to feel the feet together, the shoulder blades pulling down. You're kind of like trying to lean into the wall. So you push yourself away from the wall and then into the wall. Lift the other leg. Balance it off. You can walk down the wall if you want, until you reach the floor. And then you walk up the wall. You lift your chest and you walk down. You don't have to reach the floor. And then walk to the wall and elongate yourself up. Get the pelvis into the wall. Let your arms go down. Turn around. Get as much contact with the floor, with the pelvis, with the ribs, with the shoulder blade. Take the arms up and down. And then from here, peel up, vertebra by vertebra. And then come up. We're going to finish with a squat. Down, and then up, down, and up. Keep the inner thighs connection.